the day. So for today, we're going to talk about the first cartoon appearance of classic Avengers that started off as villain. That's right, I'm talking about Hawkeye. So alright, let's go. Yeah, we start off at a carnival where Tony Stark is out on a date with his secretary, Pepper Potts. But suddenly, disaster! One of the rides is jammed upside down and the people inside are in danger of falling out to their doom. Luckily, Tony Stark changes into his Iron Man gear and he goes and saves the people and saves the day. So hooray, everybody's happy! Well, except for that one performer at the carnival, the man known as Hawkeye, the world's greatest marksman. And he don't think Iron Man is so great. He's just some guy with a sexy robot suit. And even then, man, that suit's not that great, apparently. Even though that suit is one of the most advanced pieces of technology at the time, designed by Iron Man himself. But yeah. So this Hawkeye guy figures, man, you know what? If I had some crazy contraption suit like that, I could be just as great as Iron Man. Nay, I could be better than Iron Man. And so he goes to prove just that. He makes his own armor kind of a suit, nowhere near as cool as Iron Man's, but he also builds an array of specialty designed arrows, right? Each arrow having special purpose for any action. Like a suction cup arrow to help him, fly up a wall or something, right? And, to test his new getup, he tries to stop a robbery at a jewelry store. But he is getting propositioned by some seductive seductress, the Black Widow. She wants to remove Iron Man from the picture permanently, and she wants Hawkeye's help to get this job done. And Hawkeye is totally smitten with this woman that he just met, because she's really good looking. So he will do whatever he can to impress the nice lady. And thus, the Battle of Wits has begun. Hawkeye tracks down Iron Man and starts shooting arrows at him like pew pew. Bow, bow, bow. Iron Man kind of laughs it off, right? It's like, this guy's shooting arrows at me, man? Like, I'm covered in armor. What the hell, right? But these are no standard arrows. These arrow tips are filled with an instant rust-producing chemical. Holy crap, rust? That's like Iron Man's kryptonite. So Iron Man has no choice but to get naked and discard of his now rusted armor. But luckily, he has some random spare Iron Man suit just kicking around, man, so he changes into that one. What? That's a little too convenient, right? Like he just has Iron Man suits just kind of strewn about the city hither and thither? That's actually pretty impressive, I'm not even mad. So Hawkeye steals the old rusty armor so he and Black Widow can learn the secrets of the Iron Armor. And that totally pisses Iron Man off, right? The only thing he hates more than rust is when people steal his technology, so he chases after the disastrous duo to get his armor back and beats the crap out of Hawkeye, for good measure. But Black Widow gets injured in the whole melee and Hawkeye takes off with her to safety. At this point, Hawkeye is kind of questioning the whole murder Iron Man mission that he is on. Is it a really good idea? Why is he doing this? But Black Widow explains that, Iron Man is actually the bad guy and we're good guys. So if we kill him, we're doing goodliness for the world. Which is a pretty dumb excuse, man, but Hawkeye falls for it, Maybe Iron Man hit him in the head harder than we thought, I guess. So Black Widow implants a bone conduction radio device in Hawkeye so that she can feed him instructions personally. Wow, that's quite the dedication there, Hawk. Holy jeez, eh? So for the plan. So Hawkeye kidnaps Pepper Potts to lure out Iron Man, which is, man, that is just a real dink move, man. Jeez. So Iron Man shows up, he has a pretty decent battle with Hawkeye, but just as Hawkeye is about to finish off Iron Man, Black Widow gets kidnapped and she calls out for Hawkeye's help, so he leaves. Holy crap, man, is Tony Stark the luckiest man alive? He's saved by the most ridiculous things. But the kidnapping didn't really mean much, right? Black Widow was kidnapped by her boss, basically, and then she just left after. Seems, a little pointless, but it is what it is. And with that, Black Widow is totally pumped up to finish the Iron Man job. So she gets into her Spider-Man costume, I guess, to team up with Hawkeye once again. And they come up with a brand new cunning plan. The new plan is for Hawkeye to kidnap Pepper Potts to lure out Iron Man. Hey man, if that plan worked the first time, man, might as well go for it again. But it's slightly different because they also kidnap Happy Hogan, Tony Stark's bodyguard. So yet again, Iron Man pops on over to save the day. And this trap takes place at a rail yard. So the fight's going pretty good, right? People are getting punched in the face, which is awesome. But to end it off, man, Iron Man throws a train car thing on top of Black Widow. You know, not like an actual train boxcar, but one of those things that, you know, you gotta go like this. And actually, you can't see what I'm doing, you know, but like this thing. Yeah, like that thing is still crazy heavy, right? And if that lands on top of Black Widow, like she's basically dead, right? Nobody could withstand that. Like, holy crap. But nay, apparently she's still kicking, so Hawkeye grabs her and takes her off to safety. So while Iron Man rescues Pepper and Happy, Hawkeye and Black Widow escape and get away again. So I guess we shall see them much more often, hey? But either way, that is the end of this fantastic tale. Yeah, man, you know, like, pretty good episode, right? Technically 3 episodes in 1, but you know, still pretty good. It is pretty interesting to watch an animated cartoon that has barely any animation in it, right? Clearly not that big of a budget for the show, man, but you know, they still pulled through. And they did save a whole lot of money on reusing a bunch of animation throughout the episode, which also made it quite confusing. Like, you know, for example, if Black Widow was talking to somebody in one room, she would be shown talking to him wearing one set of clothes. So in that same scene, to show Black Widow from different angles, they would reuse animation of her talking from a different scene where she's wearing a different set of clothes and sitting in a car. Then they would reuse another scene where she's wearing completely different clothes in a completely different room. And you're like, what? So, you know, it makes sense if you know what's going on. But if you happen to have ingested some really awesome magic mushrooms, man, you might be tripping pretty hard and be pretty confused. Holy jeez, man, how is she bouncing from room to room? Not talking from experience or anything, you know. Muppets don't do that stuff, you know. But all that reused animation, you know, from like all over the place really kind of did make it, you know, not confusing, but a little kind of like, what, right? But the point of the story got across. Hawkeye's kind of funny in this one, right? Like, you know, he tries to prove that he's a better hero than Iron Man, but then is so easily swayed to, you know, go on a mission to kill Iron Man. Doesn't really take much convincing at all. Basically, Black Widow walked up to him and was like, I want you to kill Iron Man. Well, now, I don't think I should, you know, he's a good guy. But I want you to kill him and I will shake my chest at you. So you want him dead today? You know, like, man, that's pretty much how it went. If she maybe had some hypnotic, you know, like potion or something, I could probably get behind that a lot more, man. But yeah, the way it's presented, I'm not really buying it. Also with Hawkeye, like, let's say Iron Man really wanted to find out who was attacking him, right? It really wouldn't take a whole lot of investigation to be like, there's this guy called Hawkeye who's attacking me, and he is an expert marksman. I wonder if he's related to that expert marksman from the carnival who was also named Hawkeye. That's probably just a random coincidence. I'll look into this Clark Kent guy instead. Maybe Iron Man just liked the challenge of being attacked by a guy with bow and arrows, man. But either way, man, you know, still a pretty good episode. Pretty awesome artwork in there. You know, like I say, the animation really wasn't that animated, and it was reused a whole lot in different ways, but still a good episode. But now, let us take a quick little look behind the scenes here and see what we can learn about Hawkeye and Black Widow. So yes, indeed, Hawkeye. So this cartoon is basically 3 segments in one episode, with each segment being a watered-down retelling of 3 different comic book issues. The first segment, called Enter Hawkeye, is a retelling of Tales of Suspense number 57 in 1964. And this issue is actually Hawkeye's debut appearance as well. So the story is pretty much the same, with Hawkeye not impressed with Iron Man saving the day, thinking that he could be better, Hawkeye making his super persona and teaming up with Black Widow to destroy Iron Man. There are slight differences in the cartoon and the comic. For example, the attempted jewelry heist, the police believed that Hawkeye was the thief, and in the episode, both Hawkeye and the thief were gone, just leaving the bag of jewels on the ground to puzzle the police. So he had to take off, and that's when Black Widow got him and said, "Hey, come with me to escape the police." Also, there was a bit more expansion on how Black Widow gave Hawkeye more weapons for his arrow tips. That was briefly mentioned in the cartoon, but other than that, the two stories, basically the same. The second segment, called So Spins the Web, is based on Tales of Suspense number 60. So there is a lot more going on in that comic issue that doesn't pertain to Hawkeye or Black Widow and was not shown in the cartoon. Like, for example, Iron Man being suspected of killing Tony Stark, stuff like that. But the aspects of the story that do feature Hawkeye and Black Widow are basically bang on, right? Between the episode and the comic, Hawkeye and Black Widow teaming up again to kidnap Pepper Potts, Hawkeye fighting Iron Man, Black Widow getting kidnapped, and that's kind of how the story ends. So again, the comic does flesh out the story a bit more, but really pretty much a carbon copy. The third segment, called Triple Jeopardy, is taken from Tales of Suspense number 64. And yet again, my friends, pretty much a carbon copy. Black Widow gets her new uniform for the first time, which is kind of cool. Also with her teaming up with Hawkeye again, kidnapping Pepper and Happy, and having that big fight at the rail yard, all pretty much the same. The only difference is that Iron Man did not toss a handrail car on top of Black Widow, because realistically that would kill her. She did get injured at the end of the story, and Hawkeye did take her to safety. And Black Widow's bosses let her go after they kidnapped her because they used her parents' life as collateral to ensure that she would not fail in her mission to kill Iron Man. So it's kind of concerning, right? Because in the comic, at the end of the story, when Hawkeye saved Black Widow, instead of killing Iron Man, he kind of sealed the fate of her parents, which is pretty depressing. I am concerned about them. But these stories are still pretty awesome, right? It is a comic book coming to life. So you don't have to track down all these comic book issues to learn about, all these early characters, stories. You can just watch these cartoon series, so hooray. So that's pretty much the early storytelling of Hawkeye, up to the point of this cartoon episode. From this point on, man, things change quite a bit. Hawkeye, being a good guy at heart, changed his evil ways and joined the Avengers in Avengers number 16 in 1965, and has been a pretty solid member of the team ever since. He has even helped found the new team, the West Coast Avengers. You guys remember those guys? It was actually not too bad of a team. And even though he is mostly known for being Hawkeye, he has changed his superhero name quite a bit, including Goliath, the Golden Archer, and probably most famously, Ronin. So in the comic book world, when a new character is introduced, there is the inevitable comparison of a similar type of superhero from a different comic book company. In this case, Hawkeye being compared to his DC Comics counterpart, Green Arrow. Both characters are basically based on Robin Hood, right? They're expert marksmen with the bows and arrows and all that kind of stuff. Green Arrow did appear first, and that happened in More Fun Comics number 73 in 1941. But as I say, this is a pretty awesome introduction for Hawkeye, and man, the sky's the limit for the guy, so we'll get to more of his stuff as we get to it in these cartoon episodes. But, yeah, man, other than this, that, those, and the other things, I guess, that's that. Also, if you guys are interested, I created my own superhero show and I have the first episode out already. The Adventures of the Density. So if you guys would like to check it out, I'll have a link above here and a link at the end of the video for you to peruse there. Yeah, right on, and there you go. So thanks for watching the video. I hope you liked it as much as I did making it. Also, feel free to check out the source material that I featured in this video. And if you want to leave a comment on anything you may have liked or things I might have missed in this,
comments, feel free to do so. Or anything else, just to say hi. That's cool too.
And other than that, have a great day.
Thanks.